The desert had been quiet for millions of years, and it did not welcome noise. Wind pushed sand across broken stone and dry earth, shaping the land slowly, patiently. The sun burned high above, turning the horizon into a blur. To most people, this place was empty, useless. Forgotten, to Ryan Carter it was work. Ryan stood near a small field truck, wiping sweat from his neck. He was in his late 30s, broad-shouldered, with the posture of someone who had spent years following rules that no longer existed for him. Once, he had worn a uniform. Now he wore faded cargo pants and a dust-covered shirt with a survey company logo barely visible. He stared at the scanner tablet in his hands, frowning. "This can't be right," he said. Ben Holloway looked up from the equipment case. Ben was younger, thin, with restless hands and a habit of pushing his glasses up his nose even when they did not slip. "That's what you said 20 minutes ago. The numbers haven't changed." Ryan turned the screen toward him. "Metal mass, huge, deep, way too deep." Ben walked over, eyes narrowing as he read the data. "If this is a rock formation, it's the strangest one I've ever seen." Claire Watson approached them, holding a folded map. She had sand in her hair and a calm look that never seemed to fade, no matter how hot or tired she was. "Are we talking natural strange," she said, "or government-buried strange?" Ryan gave a short laugh. "Either way, someone's going to be unhappy." The team had been hired to scan the desert for underground structures. Officially, it was for resource mapping. Unofficially, Ryan suspected the sponsors were hoping to find old military junk from past wars. Lost bunkers, buried weapons, things people wanted forgotten. None of them expected this. The scanner showed a shape too smooth to be natural, long, curved, layered. It did not look like a bunker. It did not look like anything built in the last 200 years. Ryan looked out at the sand. "Start marking the site. We dig." Ben hesitated. "Ryan, if this is what I think it is, then we'll document it," Ryan said, carefully. They worked for hours. Machines groaned. Sand shifted. The desert resisted, but slowly it gave way. Metal appeared beneath the sand, dark gray, smooth but scarred by time. Lines ran along its surface, shallow but precise, like writing worn down by centuries of wind. Claire knelt beside it, brushing sand away with her gloved hand. "These markings," she said softly, "they're not decorative." Ryan crouched next to her. "Can you read them?" "Not yet," she replied, "but they're structured, deliberate. This wasn't buried by accident." Ben stood back, staring at the growing, exposed surface. "Ryan," he said, voice low, "this thing is massive, bigger than any aircraft carrier." Ryan felt a chill that had nothing to do with the heat. "How deep does it go?" Ben checked the readings. "We haven't reached the bottom." Silence settled over the team. Even the machines seemed quieter, as if unsure they should continue. They uncovered a section that curved inward, forming what looked like a sealed doorway. No hinges, no handles, just a smooth outline, perfectly fitted. Ryan stepped closer. "Any power readings?" Ben scanned it, then scanned again. "Nothing, dead as stone." "Good," Ryan muttered, though he wasn't sure why that made him feel better. They documented everything: photos, scans, samples. Protocol demanded they report the find and wait for instructions. Ryan waited until sunset before making the call. Night came fast in the desert. The heat faded, replaced by cold air and long shadows. Portable lights cast pale circles across the metal hull. Ryan stood a few steps away, phone in hand, listening to a distant voice give orders. "Higher clearance, restricted sight, stay put." When the call ended, he didn't move right away. "You okay?" Claire asked. "Yeah," Ryan said, "just thinking." "About what this is?" she asked. "About what buried it," he replied. They set up camp nearby. No one slept well. Near midnight, Ben's scanner chirped. He sat up so fast he nearly fell over. Ryan." Ryan was on his feet instantly. "What is it?" Ben stared at the screen. "I'm getting a power spike." Claire joined them. "From where?" Ben pointed at the buried ship. "From inside." Ryan felt his heart pound. "We didn't activate anything." "I know," Ben said, "but something is waking up." The metal surface began to vibrate, barely noticeable at first. Then the markings along the hull started to glow faintly, a soft blue light cutting through the darkness. Claire whispered, "That's not possible." Ryan stepped back, raising a hand. "Everyone stay clear." The sealed doorway shifted. Lines of light traced its outline. With a low, deep sound, it opened inward. Air rushed out, cold and dry, carrying a smell that reminded Ryan of old steel and ozone. Inside was darkness. Then lights came on. The interior stretched far beyond what the outside shape suggested. Clean lines, towering walls, a floor untouched by dust. Ben let out a shaky breath. This is not anything we've ever built. Ryan took a slow step forward. Human or not, he said, it's still a ship. As if hearing him, the lights brightened. A voice echoed through the chamber, calm, clear, unmistakably artificial. Command presence detected, it said. Biometric patterns partially degraded but acceptable. Ryan froze. Claire's hand tightened on his arm. Did it just... The voice continued. Rank authority unresolved, defaulting to highest probability. A pause, then Admiral identified. Ryan's mouth went dry. That's not possible. The lights shifted, focusing on him. Admiral, the voice said again, almost gentle. It has been 500 years, good to serve again. No one spoke. The desert wind howled outside, but inside the ship time seemed to stop. Ryan swallowed. You've made a mistake, he said. I'm not an admiral. Negative, the voice replied. Genetic markers confirm command lineage common among surviving human populations. Claire whispered, surviving? Ben backed away slowly. Ryan, it called us human. Ryan stared into the glowing chamber. We are human. Affirmative, the ship said. Humanity endures. The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Ryan felt something shift inside him. Fear, yes, but also something else, something old. Who are you? He asked. The lights pulsed softly. I am a long-range defense vessel, designation lost to time. I was ordered to sleep. I was ordered to wait. Wait for what? Ryan asked. For you, the ship replied. Outside, the desert remained silent, unaware that history had just taken its first breath after 500 years of sleep. The lights inside the ship stayed steady, calm, as if the words it had spoken were normal. Ryan did not move for several seconds. His mind tried to reject everything at once, but his body stayed still. Claire was the first to breathe again. Ryan, she said quietly, maybe we should step back. Ryan nodded once slowly. Yeah, good idea. But the ship did not react with fear or warning. The lights dimmed slightly, no longer focused on him alone. The doorway stayed open, patient. Command presence shows elevated stress, the voice said. This is expected after prolonged temporal separation. Ben stared at the walls, the ceiling, the smooth floor that showed nowhere at all. It talks like it's been thinking this whole time. I have been operational at minimal levels, the ship replied. Listening, waiting. Ryan took another step forward, this time on purpose. Listening to what? To silence, the ship said. To the absence of humanity. Those words hit harder than Ryan expected. He felt a strange tightness in his chest. Claire looked around, her fear slowly being replaced by focus. You said your designation was lost. Do you remember anything else? Memory corruption is present, the ship answered. However, core directives remain intact. Protect humanity, obey human command, wait until humanity returns. Ben let out a short, nervous laugh. We never left. There was a pause. Longer this time. Correction, the ship said. Humanity did leave, then humanity fell. This planet was marked as a last refuge. Ryan turned his head sharply. Fell how? Galactic conflict, the ship replied. Multi-species war. Human-led defensive alliance failed after extended attrition. Claire swallowed. You're saying humans were part of something bigger out there? Affirmative, the ship said. Humans were central. Ryan felt the weight of that settle in. All the history he knew spoke of humanity struggling just to survive on one world. Small wars, slow progress, nothing about the stars. Why don't we remember? Ryan asked. Because you were meant to forget, the ship said. That answer made Ben stiffen. Meant to. Strategic regression, the ship explained. Human leadership determined that survival required disappearance. Technology was dismantled, records destroyed, fleets scuttled or hidden. Claire's voice was barely above a whisper. You were buried. Affirmative, the ship said. I was ordered to sleep beneath sand and time. Ryan looked back toward the entrance where the desert night waited. Who gave that order? Human command, the ship replied. The last admirals. Ryan shook his head. I'm not one of them. You are human, the ship said. That is sufficient. They moved deeper inside. The main chamber opened into long corridors, each softly lit. There was no dust, no decay. Everything looked ready as if the ship had expected company at any moment. Ben ran his hand along a wall. This tech, it's beyond anything we have, even now. This vessel was not the greatest of its time, the ship said. It was one of many. That sentence changed everything. Claire stopped walking. Many? Yes, the ship replied. Human fleets once filled the sky. Ryan felt dizzy, not from fear, but from scale. "Show us," he said. "Show us what you remember." The lights shifted. The wall ahead turned transparent, then alive. Images appeared, stars, massive ships moving in formation. Human designs, but sharper, stronger, built for endurance. Humans stood beside beings of other shapes and colors, tall, small, scaled, bright-eyed, all watching the same stars. "This was before the fall," the ship said, "before the retreat." The image changed. Fire. Broken fleets, planets burning, human ships staying behind while others fled. Claire covered her mouth. "They didn't run." "Humans rarely did," the ship said. "They stayed until the end." Ryan clenched his fists. "Why?" "Because humanity protects," the ship replied. "Even when it costs everything." The image faded. Silence filled the chamber again. Ben spoke softly. "If all this is true, then the galaxy might still remember us." "Affirmative," the ship said. "Some will remember with gratitude, others with fear." Ryan thought of the present world, fragile, divided, unaware. "Are there others like you?" he asked. "Unknown," the ship replied. "Signals have been absent for centuries. I was not meant to awaken alone." Claire looked at Ryan. "But you did." The ship's lights dimmed slightly. "Yes," Ryan exhaled slowly. "What happens now?" The ship paused longer than before. "That depends on humanity." Outside, dawn began to creep over the desert. Pale light slipped through the open doorway, touching metal that had not seen the sun in 500 years. Ryan stepped back toward the entrance, looking out at the world he knew. Then he turned back to the ship. "We need to tell people," Ben said. "Governments, scientists, everyone." "Eventual disclosure is expected," the ship replied. "However, early exposure may lead to instability." Claire nodded. "He's right, this world isn't ready." Ryan rubbed his face. He felt tired in a way that sleep would not fix. "One step at a time," he said. "First, we understand you, then we decide." The ship accepted this. Acknowledged. As the sun rose higher, more of the ship's surface became visible outside. It stretched far beneath the sand, larger than they had guessed. The desert no longer looked empty. Ryan stood at the doorway once more. The ship waited behind him. The future waited ahead. Humanity, it seemed, had a past it could no longer ignore. The sun was high now, and the desert heat made the air shimmer. Ryan stood outside the ship, watching the sand move across the exposed metal. He could not stop thinking about what the ship had shown them. Beneath the sand, the ship was not just a machine. It was a reminder, a record, a warning. Claire and Ben were inside, checking the ship's systems. Ryan wanted to help, but he also knew he needed to keep the site safe. He walked back to the camp where the survey team's trucks and equipment were parked. The others were awake now, packing and preparing to leave. They had no idea what was hidden just a few yards away. "Ryan," said Marta, one of the field workers. She was a small woman with a strong voice. "We should go, we're done here." Ryan looked at her. He could see fear in her eyes, not fear of the desert, fear of what he might say. "Not yet," he said. "We're not leaving." Marta frowned. "What do you mean?" "The sponsors told us to leave if we hit something big." Ryan nodded. "I know, but this isn't just big, it's important." Ben came out of the ship, wiping dust from his hands. His face was pale. "We have to call someone," he said. "This isn't ours to keep." Ryan looked at him. "I know." Claire followed, holding a small device. She looked tired. "Ryan, I think the ship is trying to communicate with more than us." Ryan's stomach tightened. "What do you mean?" Claire held up the device. It picked up a signal, weak but real, something far away. Ben stared at her. "From space?" Claire nodded. "Yes." Ryan felt a chill. "How long has it been sending?" Claire shook her head. "We don't know, but the ship woke up and the signal became stronger." Ryan looked back at the ship. The doorway was still open and the light inside seemed calm, but now he felt a new tension, as if the ship was not just waking up, it was calling. "We need to be careful," he said. Ben swallowed. "Careful, Ryan, we already woke it up." Ryan held up a hand. "I know. But we need to control what happens next." Marta stepped closer. "You're saying we should keep this secret?" Ryan met her eyes. "For now, until we understand what it means." Marta looked away. "And if it means danger," Ryan took a breath, "then we deal with it together." He turned to the others. "I'm going to contact the government, not the sponsors, the government. We need help." Ben nodded. "Good, but it will take time." Ryan's jaw tightened. "Then we buy time." Claire stepped forward. "We should ask the ship for help." Ryan stared at her. "Help," Claire nodded. "If it was built to protect humanity, maybe it can tell us what to do." Ryan looked at the ship again. The voice had felt calm, almost kind. But it was also strong. It believed it had a mission. He walked toward the doorway and stepped inside. The air was cool, the lights were steady, the ship felt like a living place, not just a machine. "Ship," Ryan said. "We need information. You said you protected humanity. What did you protect us from?" The ship responded quickly. "From extinction," Ryan swallowed. "How?" "The war," the ship said. "The galaxy was in chaos. Many species fought for control of resources. Humans were caught in the middle. They fought back. They protected others. They were feared." Ben spoke from behind Ryan. "Feared?" "Yes," the ship replied. "Humans were strong. Humans were brave. Humans did not surrender. Many species decided to destroy humans rather than share the galaxy." Claire's voice was quiet. "But why would they want to destroy us? We never attacked them," the ship answered. "Because they feared the human spirit," Ryan frowned. "The human spirit?" "Humans were unpredictable," the ship said. "Humans did not accept defeat. Humans did not accept slavery. Humans did not accept being told they were less than others." Ben shook his head. "That sounds like a story, not a war." "It is both," the ship said. "Humans fought like storms. They were not the strongest, but they were the most determined. Other species did not like that." Ryan felt his hands shake slightly. "And the war ended how?" The ship paused. For the first time, Ryan heard a hint of sadness in its voice. "Humans lost." Claire's eyes widened. "Lost?" "Yes," the ship said. "The coalition fell. Humans retreated to Earth. Technology was hidden. Records were destroyed. The galaxy believed humans were gone." Ryan stared at the ship's smooth walls. "So we started over." "Yes," the ship replied, "and we forgot." Ben looked at the floor. "But you remembered." "I did not forget," the ship said. "I was ordered to wake when humanity returned." Ryan looked at the ship, then at his team. "So we found you, and you woke." "Affirmative," the ship said. "You are the return." Claire's voice trembled. "Return to what?" The ship did not answer right away. Then it said, "To responsibility." Ryan felt a heavy weight in his chest. "Responsibility for what?" The ship's lights pulsed. "For the galaxy." Ryan took a step back. "We are not ready for the galaxy." The ship's voice was calm. "No, but the galaxy is ready for you." Ben stared at the ship. "What does that mean?" The ship answered. "You will be found by allies, by enemies, by those who remember, by those who fear." Claire's face went pale. "We don't even have a name for you. How will we explain this?" Ryan looked at her. "We will explain it like it is. Truth is better than lies." The ship spoke again. "Truth will not save you." Ryan's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" "Truth will not stop the galaxy from reacting," the ship said, "but truth will give you strength." Ben swallowed. "Strength for what?" The ship's voice softened. "For the choices you will make." Ryan looked at the ship. "What choices?" The ship's lights brightened. "To lead or to hide, to fight or to flee, to build or to destroy." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "This is too much." Ryan placed a hand on her shoulder. "We don't have to decide everything now." The ship replied, "You already have decided. You found me." Ryan felt a shiver run through him. "That's not a decision, that's luck." "Luck is a form of choice," the ship said. "You chose to dig, you chose to stay, you chose to speak." Ben stepped forward. "So what now? What do we do next?" The ship responded, "You must prepare." Ryan frowned. "Prepare for what?" "For contact," the ship said. "For the return of humanity to the stars." Claire wiped her eyes. "We don't even know if there are other humans out there." The ship replied, "There may be, there may not be, but the galaxy knows you exist." Ryan looked at the ship's bright walls. "How?" The ship answered, "My signal was never fully shut down. It was hidden but not gone. The galaxy has been listening." Ben's voice was low. "Then they will come." "Yes," the ship said, "they will come soon." Ryan felt a tight knot form in his stomach. He looked at the team. They were all thinking the same thing. If the galaxy knew, then the world was not safe. Marta stepped forward, her voice shaking. "If they come, will they hurt us?" The ship replied, some will help. "But all will test you." Ryan took a deep breath. "Then we need to know what we are facing." The ship's lights shifted. A new display appeared on the wall, showing a map of nearby space, stars, planets, routes, a few symbols. "These are the nearest systems," the ship said. "These are the ones that remember." Claire leaned in. "What do the symbols mean?" "The symbols represent factions," the ship replied. "Some allied with humans, some hostile." Ben pointed at one symbol. "That one looks like a shield." "Allied," the ship said. "A species called the Iran. They once fought beside humans." Claire whispered. "They still exist." "Yes," the ship said. "They have not forgotten." Ben pointed at another symbol. "That one is a jagged shape." "Hostile," the ship said. "The Karas, they fought against humans." "They were the ones who pushed humans to retreat." Ryan stared at the map. "How far away are they?" Close enough, the ship said. They have been monitoring. They will respond to my signal. Claire's voice was small. They will come here? Yes, the ship replied. Unless you move. Ryan looked at the desert outside. The empty land suddenly felt like a trap, like a place where they could be surrounded. We need to move the ship, he said. Ben shook his head. We can't, it's buried, and even if we could, we don't know if it can fly. Claire looked at Ryan. We need to get to safety. Ryan nodded slowly. We need help from the government, from scientists, from anyone who can help us. The ship's voice cut in. Government will be slow. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Then we do what we can ourselves. You are not ready, the ship said. Ryan's jaw tightened. None of us are, but we don't have a choice. The ship was silent for a moment, then it said, I will help you, but you must help me. Ryan's voice was steady. What do you need? The ship's lights pulsed. You must become my command. Ryan blinked. What? You, the ship said. You are the highest human authority present. I will obey your orders. Ben stared at Ryan. They are saying you're the Admiral. Ryan looked at the ship. I'm not an Admiral. You are the closest, the ship replied, and you are human. Ryan felt his face heat. I don't want that responsibility. The ship's voice was gentle. Then choose someone else. Ryan looked at his team, Claire, Ben, Marta, others who had no idea what they had stepped into. They looked back at him, waiting. Ryan thought of the galaxy the ship had shown, of the war, of the fall, of the forgotten past. He thought of the desert, empty and quiet, hiding something that could change everything. He took a deep breath. If I'm going to be the command, he said, then we need to do this right. The ship's lights brightened. Acknowledged. Ryan looked at the map on the wall. Claire, record everything. Ben, keep scanning. Marta, help me secure the site. Claire nodded. Yes. Ben's voice was firm now. We need to move fast. Ryan turned to the ship. What do we do first? The ship replied. We prepare for contact. Ryan felt a new kind of fear, not the fear of the unknown, the fear of being seen. The desert wind blew outside. The ship waited, patient and strong, and somewhere in the dark space beyond the stars, the galaxy had begun to notice again. The desert was quiet again, but the silence felt different. It was no longer empty. It was waiting. Ryan stood at the edge of the ship's open doorway, looking out at the sand and the bright sky. He felt the weight of the ship's words in his chest. The galaxy knew they existed now. The Karas might come. The Oran might come. Other species might come too. He turned back inside. We have to move, he said. Claire looked up from her tablet. Move the ship, Ryan nodded. Or move ourselves. We can't stay here, not with the signal out. Ben looked worried. If we move the ship, we might set off a beacon. If we stay, we might be found. Ryan's voice was steady. Then we move quietly. The ship's lights pulsed. Movement is possible. Claire's eyes widened. You can fly? Yes, the ship replied. I can travel. Ben stared. Then why did you stay buried? Order, the ship said. The last command was to wait. Ryan nodded. And now? Now, the ship said, you are here. Ryan turned to his team. We need to prepare. We need to make a plan. Marta stepped forward. What plan? We don't have weapons. We don't have a fleet. Ryan looked at her. We have something better. We have the truth. Marta frowned. How is that better? Ryan paused. Because if we show the world what happened, we might get help, and if we don't, we might be destroyed alone. Ben spoke up. But how do we show the world? We can't just walk into a city and say, hey, we found a spaceship. Claire answered. We contact the government, we tell them the truth, and we ask for protection. Ryan nodded. Yes, but we have to do it in a way that keeps the ship safe. The ship's voice cut in. I can help. I can send a signal to the nearest human base. Ryan's eyes widened. Human base? Yes, the ship replied. There are still small human settlements in orbit. They are hidden, but they exist. Ben stared. Hidden? Why? Because humans learned to hide, the ship said. It was the only way to survive. Claire's voice was quiet. Where are they? The ship displayed a map, a few small points in space far from Earth. These are the nearest. They are not large, they are not strong, but they are alive. Ryan looked at the map. Then we contact them. Do you think they will believe us? Marta asked. Ryan looked at her. They will have to. He turned back to the ship. Send a message. Tell them we found you. Tell them we are alive. The ship replied. Message sent. A moment later, the ship's internal speakers picked up a faint response. A voice not like the ship's, human, tired. This is Captain Lee Harris, the voice said. We received your call. You are real. Ryan felt a shiver run through him. Captain Harris, he said. This is Ryan Carter. We found a ship in the desert. It woke up. There was a pause, then the voice said, "We thought the stories were just stories. We thought humans were gone." Ryan swallowed. "We are not gone." "Then we need to talk," Captain Harris said. "We will send a shuttle, but you must stay hidden until we arrive." Ryan nodded. "We will." The ship's lights dimmed slightly. "The Karas will respond soon." Ryan's heart tightened. "How soon?" "Hours," the ship replied, "not days." Ben stared at the map. "We don't have hours." "We have minutes," Claire spoke up. "We need to leave now," Ryan nodded. "Yes," he turned to Marta. "Help the team pack. We move the ship out of the desert." Marta looked frightened. "How?" Ryan pointed toward the ship. "We have a ship. We use it." The team moved quickly. They packed what they could, equipment, supplies, anything that could help. Ben stayed behind to monitor the ship's systems. Claire checked the ship's internal controls. Ryan watched the sky, waiting. The desert wind blew hard. Sand hit the ship's hull like small stones. Ryan felt a strange calm. He was afraid, but he also felt something else. A sense of purpose. The ship's voice spoke. "Ready," Ryan nodded. "Then let's go." The ship began to move, slowly at first, then faster. The sand shifted as the ship rose from the ground. The desert trembled. Ryan stood at the doorway, watching the world fall away. Below them, the desert became smaller. The trucks and equipment were tiny. The people looked like ants. Claire's voice was soft. "We're leaving." Ben smiled weakly. "We're flying." Ryan looked at them. "We're not just flying, we're leaving the past behind." The ship moved upward into the clear blue sky. The air outside was thin, but the ship did not struggle. It climbed higher and higher. As they rose, the ship's sensors picked up something. "Multiple contacts," the ship said. "Approaching." Ryan looked at the display, small points of light, fast. "Enemy?" Ben asked. "Unknown," the ship replied, "but not human." Claire's voice was quiet. "The Karas." Ryan's hands tightened on the railing. "How many?" "Too many," the ship said. Marta whispered, "We can't fight them." Ryan looked at the ship's controls. He did not know how to fight. He did not know how to lead, but he knew one thing: they were not alone anymore. "Ship," Ryan said, "do you have weapons?" The ship replied, "Yes." Ben's eyes widened. "You have weapons?" The ship's voice was calm. "Defensive weapons designed to protect." Ryan nodded. "Then we use them." Claire shook her head. "We don't know how to control them." The ship replied, "You will learn." Ryan looked at the sky. The points of light were getting closer. "Prepare shields," Ryan said almost without thinking. The ship's lights pulsed. "Shields activated." A moment later, a bright line appeared around the ship, a protective field that shimmered like heat haze. Ben stared. That's amazing." Ryan did not smile. "It's also dangerous." Claire's voice trembled. "They're close." The ship's sensors beeped faster. The points of light moved like a swarm. Ryan's heart raced. He could see the shapes now, dark ships, sharp and angular. They moved with purpose. They were not here for a greeting. "Ship," Ryan said, "what do they want?" The ship replied, "They want to destroy the signal." Ben frowned. "The signal?" "The signal that brought me back," the ship said. "The signal that tells the galaxy humans are alive." Ryan felt the weight of that. "They want to silence us," Claire whispered, "so they can keep humans dead." The ship's voice was firm. "Yes," Ryan took a deep breath. "Then we don't let them." The first enemy ship fired. A beam of light shot toward them, cutting through space. The shield flared, holding. Ben shouted, "It held." Ryan nodded. "Good." The ship returned fire. A bright pulse shot out, striking the enemy ship. The enemy ship shook, then fell away, broken. Claire gasped. "We did it." Ben smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "We did, but there are more." Ryan looked at the sky. The enemy swarm kept coming. "Ship," Ryan said, "how many can you take?" The ship replied, "Unknown. My systems have not been tested in centuries." Ryan swallowed. "Then we test them." The ship moved faster. It dodged another beam. The shield flashed. The enemy ships closed in. Ryan felt the ship shake as another beam hit. "We need to get out of here," he said. "Where?" Claire asked. Ryan looked at the map. "To space, to orbit, away from the desert." "Away from Earth," Ben nodded. "We can't stay near Earth. They will follow." Ryan turned to the ship. "Take us to orbit." The ship replied, "Course set." They moved upward, away from the planet. The enemy ships followed, but the ship's speed was faster. As they climbed, Ryan could see the curve of the Earth. The desert was far below now, small, quiet. The enemy ships kept chasing, but the ship's shields held. Claire looked at Ryan. "Do you think we can win?" Ryan did not answer right away. He looked at the stars. "We don't win by fighting," he said. "We win by surviving." Ben nodded. "And by finding allies." The ship's voice cut in. "Captain Harris is approaching." Ryan felt hope rise. Good, we need her. Claire stared at the display. Her shuttle is close. Ryan looked at the sky. A small ship appeared, moving toward them. The enemy ships were still chasing, but the shuttle was coming. The ship slowed slightly. The shuttle matched their speed. A voice came through the speakers. "This is Captain Lee Harris. You are not alone." Ryan's voice shook. "Thank you." The shuttle docked with the ship. A small airlock opened. Claire looked at Ryan. "What now?" Ryan looked at the ship. "Now we show the galaxy we are here." The ship's lights brightened. "Ready for transmission." Ryan nodded. "Send a message. To every human settlement, to every world that remembers. Tell them we are alive. Tell them the truth." The ship's voice was calm. "Message sent." A moment later, the stars seemed to change. Ryan could feel it in his bones. The galaxy was listening. The enemy ships, sensing something, slowed. Some turned away. Some stayed, watching. Captain Harris' voice came through again. "We will help you, but you must be careful." Ryan nodded. "We will." He looked at the ship's control room. The ship was old, but it was strong. It had waited 500 years, and now it was awake. Ryan felt a new sense of purpose. He was not an admiral, not really, but he was human, and that was enough. The ship moved into deeper space, away from the desert. The stars spread out like a sea. Ryan stood at the window, watching the galaxy. The ship's voice spoke softly. "Admiral?" Ryan turned. "Yes. It has been 500 years," the ship said. "Good to serve again." Ryan looked out at the stars, and for the first time he believed it. Humanity was not lost. Humanity was returning. An old ship found in the desert, and it said, "Admiral, it's been 500 years. Good to serve again."